Hi everyone! Today I want to show you how to make this punch art Grinch. Several years ago I made these little punch art Grinches, and they were wildly popular with my customers. I sold them all the time at craft fairs, and I've always wanted to do more, but the products used for the pieces have all been discontinued, almost all, and it was hard to reproduce, and I've gotten lots of requests for them, and I keep using my old retired things, but I wanted to do a video, and I thought, well, how do I do a video when everything is retired? So I decided to go and look through my punches and see if I can find some new punches that'll work to make my Grinch. The first thing I looked for was his head. I liked the shape of this one because it had this little point, kind of Grinchy. Not that he has these funny little ears, but it's the little point to his chin. And while looking at my punches, I found the acorn punch. The acorn punch has that little point at the end. And I thought, well, you know what? I think that might work as a Grinch head. So I went ahead and tried it. And it does. I think it turned out pretty good. Now you don't need the little stem, and you don't need the bumps on the side. So I just trimmed those off. But what you're left with is that little chin, which is the part that I do think you need. The next thing that I used back on the old one is this really funny little wiggly nose. That is actually still available. That is the foot from the owl. Shine on that kind of glares with the film, but it's a little tiny foot. Actually, I'll just punch out a whole one so you can see it better. There we go. So here's the owl. All you need is the foot. So you cut that out. It's kind of a funny little piece. Now for the eyes, you can look for your various circle punches. I happen to have a favorite, and that's the owl punch again, because it comes with several sizes of eyes, and it punches two at a time. So that's nice. And I go ahead and use this size, which is the middle size of circle, for the eyes. And the color I chose for the eyes is So Saffron. So I have two there. Now the eyebrows were made with a slot punch, actually. It cut out a little slot that you can slide a ribbon through, and that's been discontinued for a long time too. And I was looking, I thought I could just cut a little eyebrow, but then while looking at my punches, I found this little, it's called the Sprinkles punch, and it has this little line here. And I thought that would be perfect. So I punched out two of those. Now when you're punching out little tiny pieces, it's nice to have these little strips, because you can get in there and get just the foot of the owl or just this little tiny eyebrow from the confetti sprinkles punch. There you go. Now I also used this little circle. It's not quite an exact circle, it's a slight oval, and I cut out two of those in basic black for his eyes. I've already got some glued so that you don't have to watch me glue eyes. There we go. Okay. And eyebrows. Now the hat was simple. Stampin' Up! Came out with a new hat builder punch this year. I didn't have to go and invent one. So I just punched the hat base in cherry cobbler. Real red is also a good choice. And the little pom-pom and the hat brim are in Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper, which is really fun. Okay. So there you have all your Grinchy pieces, except the mouth. So for the mouth, I used my Stampin' Up! Marker. One side has a brush tip, the other side has a fine tip. I'm going to use the fine tip. And you might want to do a few practices for the mouth on your paper before you do it. And I like to have at least one eye on there so I kind of have an idea of where the mouth and nose are going to fall. So for the Grinchy mouth, you just kind of do that. pretty simple. And now you're just going to glue things down. So this is for that owl foot nose. It's hard to do these tiny little pieces, I know. There we go. And 2 eyes. There you go. You know, he's looking too friendly maybe. You can kind of turn the eyes so they're more menacing. Okay, and the hat. Okay, now here's where I keep trying to decide what I like better. In this one, I put the eyebrows under the brim of the hat. On this one, they're kind of cartoony. They stick up above the brim of the hat, which is kind of silly. I can decide which way I liked it better, and I kind of think I like the silly above the brim of the hat look. So that's what we're going to do here. While it's still wet, sometimes I move the little pieces around. That's why I like liquid glue for this. You can kind of play with the pieces a little bit. There. Okay. And the little silly eyebrows go right there. And they really do kind of add to that menacing look. Before he looked almost like Kermit the Frog or some kind of happy little alien. But now with these little menacing eyebrows, he is a Grinch for sure. Okay. All right, we're going to set that aside. I'm going to talk a little bit about this tag. Now, I loved this stamp set. I saved it. It's awesome. I usually sell a lot of my discontinued stamp sets, but even the naughty deserves something nice. It's totally cute for the Grinch. But it's gone, and we haven't had a naughty or nice type stamp in a while, but this year I noticed in the Greetings from Santa stamp set, naughty or nice. This is on sale right now. It's part of the closeouts. So this is through December only. In fact, it's while supplies last pretty soon, so if you want a naughty or nice, which you should, this is the set to get. It's on clearance. It's on the closeout sale when you go to Stampin' Up. So you're going to want to grab that. Now, I wanted the naughty and nice to be different colors. So instead of using a stamp pad, I used my markers. And I used Cherry Cobbler on the naughty. And you're going to use the brush tip this time. And I used Old Olive on the nice. And you're just going to stamp that. And cut this out with some of your shapes. I decided to use an oval framelit. So you're just going to cut that out with your oval framelit, and I used a layering piece in the scallop oval. Got some completed, so you don't have to watch me run that through the big shot. And that cuts those out. Oops. There we go. And I used a hole punch. And there we go. There's your tag. I also want to talk about the candy bar. People ask me where this narrow, thin candy bar comes from. It's actually a World's Finest chocolate candy bar. The school in my area, one of the schools, sells these every Christmas for a fundraiser. And so to help out, I always buy, I actually buy a whole case usually, almost every year. There's 50 in a case, and I think I make 50 candy bars a year. You can look around to see if any of the schools in your area are selling them. You can look for the skinny candy bars work the best. And I think Dove has one. It's not quite as skinny as this. but there is one by Dove that's not too bad. The Hershey bars are just too fat. They'll look cute. You can still make a cute little Grinch if you want to, but the tall, skinny ones, for some reason, are just so fun. So to make it, I cut, this is 3 1/4 by 8, which only works for this candy bar. So you'll have to take your candy bar and measure it and give yourself a little bit on top and a little bit on bottom, and you're just simply going to wrap it. Can't find the end of my tear tape. There it is. Now I used old olive paper. This is the Designer Series paper stacks, and the stacks where you get a whole bunch from the same color family. This is the Brights family. It's a good choice for Christmas because you get old olive and you also get real red, so you can do real red. You want to wrap it nice and tight, and you're just rolling it. It's really simple. And then for the ends, you're going to put a piece of tear tape inside. Use your finger, make sure it goes down, or a bone folder. You want to make sure that sticks really well. And peel off the backing. It's always funny when I do a video, I can never tear the backing off of the tear tape. I don't know why that is. Murphy's Law, I guess. Okay, that's hilarious. Alright, let's do this side. There. That one came off. Then you're just going to pinch it closed and make it nice and flat. So you're going to do that on both ends. I'm not going to make you watch me fight with, oh, maybe I am. I'm going to make you watch me fight with the tear tape. Oh my goodness. It's so funny. Alright, I'm going to get that later. So you're going to do the same thing and just pinch it closed. It worked on all the ones off camera. Okay, so that is the candy bar wrap. It's really simple. And then as far as, let's use this side since it's done. This goes, I use some of the really pretty ribbon. I love that Stampin' Up! Has ribbon and paper and ink that all coordinates. This is Cherry Cobbler. This ribbon is also from the holiday catalog. And it is also retiring. And it is also on sale. So it's the satin ribbon. It comes in a pack with really pretty emerald ribbon as well. Okay, so I usually make a really fine point to get through these little holes. There's lots of little tricks. You can use a pin to stick it through. I make a really fine point and just throw it through, which does fray the end, but we're gonna take care of that with some snips in just a second, so that's okay. There you go. So now our ends are pretty. And we're just going to stick that little Grinchy head on there with a dimensional. It stays on really nice and tight. There you go. There is your little Grinchy candy bar. And if you look through my videos on my channel, you'll see that I did this really cute Santa Claus just a few days ago. And another one I want to show you is a reindeer. I'll do that hopefully tomorrow. Sometimes kid stuff gets in the way, but if I get a chance, I'll do a really cute reindeer. The candy bars are really sweet, and who wouldn't want one? There you go. You can purchase any of the Stampin' Up! Punches and paper and all things on my blog, bethspapercuts.com, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel so you can see more fun punch art projects. Say that 5 times fast. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.